And this is Kensington Avenue, Philadelphia. And I tell you, America is being plagued from all different type of things right now. So yeah, let's get into this. Deuteronomy 28 verse 59, then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sickness, and of long continuance, constant plagues, never ending plagues, death, okay? Pestilence, one sickness at another, all right? And that ultimate plague is them nuclear missiles, all right? And that laser chariot fire. Let's keep going. Deuteronomy 28 verse 60, moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou was afraid of, and they shall cleave on to thee. And you're starting to see them. Mormon crickets, all right? The water poison, real bad, all right? Also, every sickness and every plague, which is not written in the book of this law, then will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. Let's get into this. Now, these curses are moving on these people, on the heathen, on Babylon the Great. Okay? Florida man almost loses his leg to flesh-eating disease after bitten in a family brawl. Jake was fist fighting each other, okay, in a family brawl, not like a regular fight, a whole brawl with his family. You see? And we used to do this madness back then. All right? Remember King David, man, was fighting Saul, man, and they started stabbing each other? That was a family brawl. All right? Because all of them was Jakes. So let's get into this. Barakathai Hawa, Barakathai Hawashah, Barakathai Hawa, Barakathai Hawashah. Call her law, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah, Bashem, Rakar Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. I believe those are the prophets. Shalom and salutations to those that teach the likewise doctrine. Shalom to those around the four corners of the earth and the speckled. Shalom. Now let's get into this. Donnie Adams said he was breaking up a family fight when a relative bit him. He has since recovered from the life-threatening infection. A Florida man almost lost his leg and could have died from a rare flesh-eating bacterial infection which developed after he was bitten in the thigh during a family fight. Donnie Adams, a 53-year-old funeral assistant from the Tampa suburb of Riverview, went to the emergency room in mid-February to treat a bump the size of a dollar coin on his upper left thigh. He was sent home with a tetanus shot and antibiotics, but the injury got worse over the next few days, becoming red, swollen, and painful to the touch. His thigh almost looked like an orange peel because of the swelling that was underneath it. Dr. Fritz Brink, a wound care specialist at HCA Florida Healthcare who treated Adams. And I don't know if you guys know, they're having another shortage of all these doctors and nurses. All right, they're closing down a lot of places over here in Central PA. Yeah, because of the shortage. You know, but like I said, I kind of live in a stick, so yeah. By day number 3, the leg was swollen. It felt very warm, and I had problems with mobility and everything, Adams said on Friday. Brink said Adam told him he sustained a bite while breaking up a family altercation. And see, this is why your family is those in the truth. A lot of your family members, especially if you in this truth, they really don't want to hear it. I don't know what the hell they got going on this burger. It looked like a piglet. Jake need to stay away from that madness. They probably was eating this at that place where they got into a fight at. He pulled them off of each other, and in the process, he got bit. The wounds appearance match Adams' account, he added. When I saw him in the hospital, you could still see the bite marks on his thigh. So a family member had to bite his ass that hard. You know, more likely that was an Eve. And she could have killed him. She bit him and could have killed him. You see? He said he rushed Adams to the operating room at Florida Northside Hospital in St. Petersburg on February 19th. Adams underwent a second surgery several days later, then was released from the hospital around the second week of March. So he was in the hospital for almost 2 weeks after a bite. Now, I can't prove that Eve bit him, but he got bit. And more likely it was Eve. You know? Family is everything, and sometimes things go down in families. He said, I'm a man of faith. People can be forgiven, and that's the way I feel about it. It was a family event that went south between two people. And even though I got in the middle of it, I got injured. It doesn't mean I'm going to hate my family over this. Hey, in these last days, you're not going to be able to trust your family. Trust me. They're going to sell you out to stay in Egypt. Now, that fishing leaks, the same way that Jake was mumbling in the wilderness, these people will sell you out. They will mumble to the authorities. All right. So yeah, he almost died from this. Okay. Now I didn't know a person can bite you and give you flesh-eating bacteria. Now, but listen to this: flesh-eating disease or necrotitin facialis is a life-threatening condition that can be caused by a variety of different strains of bacteria. So this person had a lot of bacteria in their mouth. They probably had bad teeth, rotten teeth, because you know America is one of the places with real bad teeth, including a group A strep and other bacteria found in water, dirt, or saliva. You see? Let's keep going, because it's far worse plagues coming. Okay, look at this. So now you got to worry about people biting you and killing you. Okay, that's like when you was in school and you be fighting, you get bit, you got to go get a technic shot. But now people can literally bite you and kill you. That's horrible. That's a terrifying plague, because a person, well, I'm not going to say anything, but yeah, I'm going to keep it clean, but you know. All right, it only takes one bite. MDDHS issues warning after mosquitoes test positive for Jamestown Canyon virus in Michigan. So now these mosquitoes can only bite you one time and get you and get people up out of here. So now you gotta worry about humans biting you and damn near giving you some zombie apocalypse type necrotitis infection that can damn near kill you. Now you gotta worry about these different mosquito plagues. These are the first infected mosquitoes for any virus in 2023 anywhere in the state, according to the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. The virus is spread to people through bites from infected mosquitoes, with most cases occurring from late spring through mid-fall. Health officials say from JCV can develop anywhere between a few days to 2 weeks following a bite from an infected mosquito. While most people don't fall ill, initial symptoms can include fever, headache, and fatigue. Now you got to think about it. If these mosquitoes are biting and spreading stuff, what if they bite a person that can give you flesh-eating disease? Maybe these mosquitoes can pass it on. You see? In rare cases, it can cause severe disease in the brain and or spinal cord, including encephalitis and meningitis. You see, it's one madness to another madness. One plague to another plague. You see? Let's keep going. Now watch this. Deadly bacteria that kills up to 50% of patients now endemic to U.S. Gulf Coast, CDC experts say, just a year after it was first detected in the country. Now, I had a dream. I believe it was back in March or April. I'm going to have to put the link up. I dreamed that they did something to the water, and the Most High got mad and took all the water. There was no more drinking water except for the people that he wanted to keep alive. It was a terrifying dream. These people, I believe these people did this. They're doing all this. Okay? Experts said the bacteria was now endemic to the 1,600-mile U.S. Gulf Coast. And I've been in the Gulf Coast. Anybody that live in Texas, Dallas, or like around that area, Louisiana, Florida, okay, them waters tend to be pretty warm. So this stuff may spread even faster. Okay, so now these people, they can't even enjoy that beach water. If they have a scrape or cut, they get their ass in that water. Okay, this might spread up their leg and put them to death. You see? And now these animals in the water are acting crazy towards these people too, because they probably getting sick and they don't like this man. A shark just ate a man on the beach. I was going to do a report on it, but it's so much stuff coming out. You don't even really have time to keep up with everything. You got to get in where you fit in. Call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahweh. Yeah, so now you got to worry about this. See, and it say from Texas to Florida. Dr. Julius Passez, an epidemiologist at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, who made the warning, said Burkhardt pseudomyeli was now likely lurking in soil and in the soil too. You see? In the soil. And stagnant water across the 1,600 miles from Texas to Florida. This is why you're not supposed to eat shellfish, because they clean the water. Okay? Now look at this. People infected with the bacteria suffer melioidosis, a severe condition that can trigger pneumonia and sepsis and can be fatal. Now, didn't the lady have a dream about them spraying something in the air? Okay? Now, pneumonia and sepsis, if you get sepsis, you can get pneumonia. If you get pneumonia, you can get sepsis. See? My son passed from my last baby boy. He passed from sepsis in the hospital. You know? The doctors are now on alert for the disease, which can initially be misdiagnosed as another infection. Now listen to this. The CDC declaration comes less than a year after it was detected in the U.S. for the first time in soil from the Mississippi coast. Me personally, I think they're doing this. And look at this. Scientists are trying to find a mystery person in Ohio who has a new kind, and you see what it says, and is shedding it into the sewage. Man, these people, they just come up with all type of madness. I don't believe that. I believe, like I said, I believe they're shedding it. They're doing this. Okay? And they call it the sea cryptic lineage mystery. They're doing this. Look at this. Sexually transmitted infections found in 13-year-olds as cases hit record high. And hey, what's that month we in right now? And now you got these different plagues popping up. See? Cases of gonorrhea in England have reached record highs, while children as young as 13 have been diagnosed with the sexually transmitted infection, new figures show. Why? Because they're spreading that perverse spirit. Okay? That's why. Actually, let me get it. Deuteronomy 32 verse 5. And this was talking about us, when we was going off, right? They have corrupted themselves. Their spot is not the spot of his children. They are a perverse and crooked generation. Isn't this a crooked ass generation? Absolutely. Okay, this is why we know only 1/3 gonna make it, right? Let's keep going. Do ye thus requite the Lord, O foolish people and unwise? Is not he thy father that have brought thee? He have not made thee and established thee? Absolutely, right? But we know 2/3, they just not gonna get it on this side. They don't care. All right. And I wouldn't be surprised if these little 13-year-olds, because you know what they're teaching in school now, turning your kids out. One of them make a mistake while they doing the do, and mess around and bite one another while they carpet munching or whatever the hell they doing, right? Or sword fighting, they bite one another and get that flesh eating bacteria. You see? Let's delve into this article a little bit. I'm not going to read the whole thing. The number of cases of chlamydia and syphilis have also dramatically increased, with the number of diagnosed cases of infectious syphilis at the highest level since just after the Second World War. That's crazy as hell. Because during the Second World War, they was all overseas sleeping with all different type of people. So they saying it's that bad now. New UK Health Security Agency figures show that overall there were 392,453 diagnoses of new STIs in England in 2022, more than 1,000 every day, and an increase of 23.8% compared to 2021. While the rise in cases is in part linked to an increase in testing, health officials said the sharp rise strongly suggests there's more transmissions of STIs in the population. Yeah, because you perverted their mind. So the Most High is going to make sure these plagues pop out all over the damn place. A filthy, disgusting place. Okay? And look at the month that we in. They didn't turn June into, this weird alphabet month. Right? Let's keep going. Now look at this. This is in Peru. At least 200 dead, more than 130,000 infected. Peru battles major dengue outbreak. I thought that only happened in Africa. I didn't even know that happened over here. Peru is battling its worst dengue outbreak on record. You see? Everything is always record breaking. The worst in history, the worst storms, the worst ever reported. Everything is always amping up now because that's the times we're living in. We're living in the end of this man's kingdom. With 200 people reported dead and at least 130,000 confirmed cases, the country's health ministry said. Most of the deaths have taken place in northern Peru, according to Reuters, where health officials say hospitals are paralyzed and medical personnel from across the country are flocking to treat those infected with the viral disease transmitted to humans by the bite of an infected mosquito. Health authorities have said they also have fumigated millions of homes across the country in an effort to stop the infection from spreading. You see? We have put 1,485 thermal bullicers into operation nationwide, said the Peruvian head of health. I don't know what that is. I'm going to have to look that up and see what it is at a later time. Right? So far, at least 200 people have died due to the outbreak. You see? Dengue in children. They say why children in U.S. territories are bearing the burden of neglected tropical diseases. Because, the Most High is turning this up. You see? He's turning it up. Dengue fever is on a rise in U.S. territories. In the Caribbean, a recent study estimates that half the children in the U.S. Virgin Islands have had a prior infection. So see, when you thought that you can go on a nice trip, you're going to go down to the Caribbean, you're going to go to the Dominican Republic, the Virgin Islands, these nice places, the Bahamas, okay, where the water's clear. Now you got to worry about a bacteria in the water that can kill you at a 50% rate if you get an infection. And now you got to worry about dengue, okay? A new strain of that they saying somebody from Ohio is spreading. A new strain of the sea. Okay? One type of plague to another type of plague. Right? Severe infections, particularly secondary ones, can be fatal. See, you can't go nowhere anymore because you might get a plague. See? A lady just went to Africa and died, I believe, from yellow fever. Going to go visit. See? And she took a shot of that juice and it didn't help her. Amos 5 verse 19. It says, if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him. See, there's no escaping. There's a plague here, there's a plague there, there's a plague everywhere. Call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it? Yeah, there's nothing here left to look for. Okay? You see the darkness closing in. All right? It's getting close to midnight. All right? Now, remember we told people not to take the bastard juice? Let me show you something. Let me show you why I'm bringing this up. See, they doing something with these plagues, and I think it's all related. Watch this. Now you got to see this for yourself. I'm gonna show you why I'm bringing this up. Now, what you get ready to see, if you got a weak stomach, change it now, and I'll tell you when it's over. All right. This is a praying mantis, and this is a parasite leaving it. Okay. Now remember, a lot of people have been reported with the movies that they recently brought out that talk about suddenly people having strange tubes and stuff in them. Now I'm not saying this is what's going on, okay, but I'm gonna show you something that's real strange, and we told people not to take the bastard juice. Okay, we warned them. Now we're gonna go to the comment board. I'm gonna show you something, and I'm gonna show you something else that's gonna blow your mind. Okay. Now watch this. That's called a horsehair worm that came out of this. It's a parasite, but let's go to the comment board. Now remember, people. There've been reports saying that people have been having these different things in them, right? Now watch this. For those wondering, this is a horsehair worm, also known as a Gordian worm, named after the legendary Gordian knot. Now people been saying that they've been having these little things, and the juveniles of these Neanderthal relatives live inside various groups of arthropods. The worm zombifies and hosts and controls them to seek out water and drown themselves. The adults then exit the host and live the short remainder of their life in the water, not eating anything and mating in large knots. Now remember they talk about people having peptides and stuff in them? Okay, now look at the next comment, and then I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind. These parasites tend to live in small insects such as crickets and grasshoppers. They're usually transferred to their host killer when consumed. So now they want you to eat crickets and grasshoppers, right? Had this happened several times when crickets I've bought at a local pet store for supplying lizard food ended up having these. Now wait a minute. How did lizards get it? I thought only arthropods can get it. Let's keep going. They're usually referred to as horsehair worms. The parasitic nature of these worms force their host to jump and commit suicide in the bodies of water where the next life cycle for the worm can commence. Now watch this. Now remember, they had no outbreak of the Big C in Africa. Remember, there was no outbreak over there. Now watch this. What's going on is the Most High is exposing these people now. There's over 2,000 different types of these worms. Now look at this. This is up top. It's from the Missouri Department of Conservation. Horsehair worms. Although about 350 species of horsehair worms have been scientifically described, scientists estimate there are about 2,000 species globally. Now watch this. Watch this. You go right here to Science Direct. 22 species of freshwater horsehair worms are known for the neocrict, together with 5 marine species. All right, now watch this. Told you not to trust these people. Okay? We warned you. Now watch this. Now, this is from National Library of Medicine. Like I said, I'm going somewhere with this. 2 human cases infected by the horsehair worm. Now, wait a minute. I thought people couldn't get it. Now, remember, there's over 2,000 different kinds, right? Now, watch this. See, these people have been working on something. That's why we tell you don't trust the damn devil. Look at this. This is from the National Institute of Health. Interactions between worms and malaria. Good worms or bad worms. Okay? Because allegedly malaria looks like a worm too. Okay? Now, remember I showed you, it said that 2 people were infected with this worm. Okay? Now, let me show you something. Now, remember they say when it grows, it look like a little knot or like a ball. Now, remember these people allegedly are having peptides in them. Okay? These long, stringy things. Now, I'm going somewhere with this. Remember they had all over the TV, you can't say that word. It begins with a I and a V. And it's called something, mectin. It begins with an I and a V, and it's called mectin. Okay, I'm trying to talk in code. Okay? I'm going to say, I'm not going to say the word, but it's called ipectin. You'll figure it out, Jake. You'll get it. Now watch this. Remember, they talk bad about it, real bad. But watch this. Now, oddly enough, this right here, this word, I'm not gonna say it. It kills those worms. Now, remember, they kept telling you not to use it. They kept telling you don't use it. But guess where they used this at? And guess where you hardly had any infections at? In Africa. They use this all over Africa. Okay? And they don't get no worms. But here they've been telling people that they can't use it. You can't even, it's hard to get now. Okay? Now look at this. This is from Victoria Health. It is estimated that around 80% of both adults and children have parasites in their guts. And now look at this. Remember they told you that you can't take that all of a sudden. Okay, now watch this. Common parasites, roundworms, pinworms, hookworms, and tapeworms. You see? And we know what kill them. Okay? These different damn worms, man, they've been doing something with this. This is why they told you that they don't want people taking that, right? And now people then took it. Whatever it is in their bloodstream, and we don't know exactly what's going to happen. But they saying that they expect 600 million, okay, to have issues, okay? And the guy who did the report on that, he said that's a lowball number, right? So see, these plagues are being sent forth, Jake. You better stay prayed up. I'm going to get a scripture and shut it down. Yeah, Jake didn't want to listen, and we know there's a scripture that say that people they're gonna get these grievous sores. Now we know that's dealing with the MOTB, but remember, I done did reports already where people they're finding these worms under their skin, right? I did a report about 2 weeks ago on it. Okay, 2 Esdras 9 verse 10. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, hard-headed ass Jake. Okay, Dr. E. Different heathens, right? And they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not but despised it. That's them 2/3 Jake. You keep trying to let them know. Family members that don't want to listen. Went and took the bastard juice. Now all of them sick. Especially a lot of the women in my family. The same must know it after death by pain. You're going to see great death, and it's coming. These plagues are being sent forth. I'll see you again real soon, Jake. Stay prayed up. Shalom.